Hi everybody, Sussex Adventurer here, and today I'm with my good friend Peter.
Hello.
How you doing, Peter?
Yeah, good, thanks.
All right, so Peter is the proud owner of a Honda GB350S. Peter, tell us a bit about why you bought it and what do you think of it?
Well, loving it, absolutely loving it. I've just literally done 1,000 miles, so it's had its first 600-mile service, and I'm actually completely new to motorbikes, so I haven't actually had this sort of riding experience that most guys have had. And the purpose really of this bike is to do a trip on.
And you say a trip, Peter. This is not just an ordinary trip. Where are you going?
Well, there isn't a destination, but there is a plan, and I kind of feeling I want to just head off through Europe, and I want to take it in the mountains.
Okay.
So I want to do the Pyrenees, I want to do the Alps, then some of the mountains around, Croatia and that sort of thing, and then wend my way through to the Himalayas.
The Himalayas, wow, amazing.
Himalayas, yeah.
How long do you think a trip like that, how much time are you giving yourself for a trip like that?
A trip like, well, for me, I've actually booked out a year.
A year.
So I've had to plan it and let all my clients know that I won't be doing their gardens for a long time and all of that, but they're fine. And
you'll be coming back to cut jungles down.
Jungles.
Yeah. That's
like
great.
Big gardens.
Yeah.
There's more staff working on it. But yeah, it's just
it's a lifetime,
for me,
trip of a lifetime.
A trip of a lifetime, yeah. And also the bike, I feel, is the perfect adventure bike.
I think you're right there. Tell us about some of the modifications you've done on this bike then. We'll start at the front end.
Yeah, I mean, bought the bike obviously 2 months ago and bought it brand new, obviously, because it's just come out. Handle grip guards were on there, and I'm not sure why I put them on, but I just like the look, to be honest. And the cowling here, it's not the proper what I call adventure cowling, but I'm not going to be going fast on it.
No.
So I don't need anything that's going to be too protective.
Yep.
Moving around, I think key here for me was these two items. The
crash guards
crash
and
bar,
crash
bar and the spots.
Yeah,
spots to give me more visibility when I'm on the road.
Yeah,
and the crash bar, if I drop it, I've got
some protection.
For
nice,
the bags
nice.
and the luggage through there.
And I like this. What's this at the back? This sort of seating system you've got here. Oh, sorry, the baggage system.
Yeah, the baggage system. So the whole racking, which is the two panniers and this, I got from a company in Delhi.
Okay.
I did a little trip recently in Guatemala where I hired a motorbike, and we bought from Delhi a little rack to go on this. What was it? A Hero X Pulse 200.
Okay. I've heard of it.
I got this little rack, and it fitted perfectly. And I thought, my God, these guys in Delhi are producing this stuff cheap. And it
good
seems
quality.
to work.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, I'm just going to go with it. I got the rack. They sent it over. Difficult to fit.
Right.
And it took about 3 hours to fit. And I actually had to take the angle grinder to it.
I think you did some modifications with an angle grinder, didn't you? What was it?
The angle grinder took a bar that should have come down here, but it just didn't fit. So I took it off. But it's so solid. I can lift the whole
really
box.
is, isn't it?
It
Gosh,
really is,
yeah.
So all the luggage is going to go on that.
Right.
And then there's a company called Turkana.
Okay.
And they produce this plate that you can actually bolt on to the rack.
Right.
And then this just simply sits on that.
Okay. And you're going to have two of those, I think, aren't you?
I'm going to probably have two, although I'm not sure this side will fit with the exhaust.
Oh, yes.
So I've got to do a bit of modification here, because obviously the heat of the exhaust is going to hit the bags.
Very true, yeah.
And,
angle grinder time.
Yeah, angle grinder. Actually, it's going to be a bit of aluminium guttering.
Yes, hold on. Yeah, okay. Show us what you got here. It's aluminium guttering.
Aluminium guttering that put on there somehow.
Perfect.
And maybe a bit of ceramic fibre blanket in there to stop the heat.
Perfect.
And then strap a bag on here.
Yeah.
So it may be a different bag manufacturer.
I really like on the back of that bag, you've got the choice of taking, well, if you had to, perhaps you've got fuel in one and maybe water in the other, little fuel thing.
Yeah, they got these little bags here,
right.
And Yeah, it's separate from your main bag, so if it's a fluid, it's
Yep.
not going to affect. And quite simply, a fuel friend.
Yeah, excellent,
2
excellent.
litre or 1.5, whatever it is.
Yeah, well, you
And
might need
then-
some of those in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and this one will probably take my camping system.
Right.
And in there, probably the most key thing whenever I'm travelling is being able to have a cup of tea.
Yes. Don't disagree.
So I'll need water with me constantly when I'm travelling, so I can just stop at the side of the road
Have a cup of tea.
and make myself a cup of tea.
But you're taking tent, sleeping gear.
Yeah.
What else was it you were talking
So
about?
I've got a cook system, because cooking for me is very important. That
Yeah.
I can cook a good quality meal.
Yeah. So big cook
and
system.
So cooking system, sleep system, tent.
Right.
Then obviously tools,
Yeah.
clothing.
Yeah. And a few spare parts we were talking about, like maybe bulb,
and that will
head
probably come in
bulbs.
a bag.
Yeah.
Down here somewhere.
Exactly.
But we could look at that later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think you've chosen the perfect bike for it. I mean, it's a Honda. Enough said.
Well, it's
know.
interesting. What my rationale for going for this particular bike is basically, I'm not a mechanic.
Right.
I'm just not going to do too much. I'll try and learn how to mend a puncture.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
clean the chain.
Yeah.
I'll do what I can, but I'm not a mechanic.
So,
This bike, in its different forms, I think it's a Royal Highness.
yes.
It's
Yes.
been available in most of the world for
So
2 years.
parts and
parts.
servicing will be, everything will be available.
And I know I can just pull up to say in India, and
Yeah.
someone's going to come out and say,
And
yeah,
fix
I can
it.
do that.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and also this bike will only comfortably do, when you're cruising, it's 60 miles an hour.
Right, okay.
You can take it up to 70 and you can get it to 80, but you're just going to be revving it and trying.
Yeah.
And you're just going to be. The best thing I'm enjoying about this is just pootling along at 60 miles an hour and looking at the scenery.
Beautiful.
And when I'm going around the world, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Tell us again, Peter, when is the off date?
So I've still got to save some money, but so I'm reckoning on about 30,000
Right.
for
Yeah.
my costs.
Yeah.
And that might sound a lot
So that's why you're going in April next year.
year.
Yeah, to get that.
to get that sum.
But 30,000 for a year's travelling. Plus.
And is that a lot, or is that?
For me, it sounds reasonable. Having hired a
Yeah.
bike in Chile
Yeah.
for an extortionate amount, I think that's reasonable.
So that 30,000 includes the kit and the bike.
And the shipping and all the
Well, I haven't got to shipping, and there may be
Right.
no shipping,
yeah,
depending where I get to, because shipping costs are expensive.
really expensive at the moment,
and
aren't they?
this
Yeah,
bike may be abandoned.
yeah.
I know I have to get a car now and all
Yes,
of that, and
yes.
a deposit for the.
I don't think you'll be the first to have left a bike behind
No.
somewhere.
But at 4,000 brand new.
I know, it's crazy.
And then a year riding it.
Yeah.
And a year before I go, I've done 1,000 already.
Yeah,
You
it's fantastic.
It's not going to be worth a lot
No,
when I come to ship, and then it's going to be a balance between shipping costs.
or just let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peter, I think that's just sounds absolutely amazing. I'm going to follow you bits and pieces as you get ready, and I hope the viewers will find it useful as well. And let us know, viewers, if you're planning any big trips to India. And I think you were going, where is it the furthest you might go, you said? Was it?
Well, I'd like to get to New Zealand.
If you could,
If I
yeah.
could.
Fantastic. Well, I can't, I'm so excited. I have thought about talking to my wife and saying, can I have 2 years off? I haven't, I'm
Come and
joking.
join me now. Come and
Exactly,
join me.
yeah. I don't think,
From my point of view, my partner's going to be flying out
yeah,
every so
excellent.
often just to keep an eye
Yeah,
on me.
no, that's lovely, really nice. Yeah, good. Listen, I'm going to say goodbye for now, but we'll pick it up with some more videos. And thanks again, Peter.
Yeah, no
really
problem.
enjoyed it.
Enjoyed it.
Cheers.
Thanks.